Hi everybody, my name's Claire, welcome back. I've got some paint leftovers to use up now. I did this painting about a week ago and I got a lot of paint scraped off my worktop afterwards and it gave me this beautiful blue colour. So I want to use that paint up. So I might use it in the pour, I might use it as a flow extender, I'm not really sure yet. I was going to do a straight pour. I think I'm toying between a straight pour and a flip cup pour with that blue colour. Add some other colours, some gorgeous colours I've got, so I'm really excited. So let me show you the colours. These are the colours. So from the previous pour, I got this colour. So it's a bluey grey colour. So that is just a mixture of purples, turquoises, bronze, gold and white. It's so interesting to see what colour comes out. So I'm going to use maybe a little bit of it, but I'll probably use it as a flow extender, I think. So I've got the leftovers. I've got here, what's it called? This one here, Amsterdam Prussian Blue Phthalo. This one is Pebeo Studio Acrylics Green Blue. Then this is De La Rowney Phthalo Turquoise. The pinky one, it was mixed in a purple cup, so there's purple around the edge, but that doesn't matter at all. Iridescent Violet Blue by Pebeo. Pebeo Silver, Amsterdam Bronze. So they're all mixed with PVA glue and water. I'll include the recipes and the ratios in the description of the video. So I was going to do another straight pour, but I've just thought, no, I'm going to add some silicone. I'm going to do a flip cup. I haven't done a flip cup for a while, so let's do that. So I'm going to add try and add 3 drops of silicone into each cup. You have to be so careful with the silicone bottle because it, as you saw with the silver then, it can just pour out. So when I do a painting and I have leftovers, I often just save them and use them later, at a later date, put lids on them so that they're airtight, and that tends to work quite well. But sometimes I just forget about them, or I'm going to put 5 drops in this one because it's a big cup. I forget about the paints, or I leave it too long and they start to thicken up, or I forget what medium they are if I haven't written it on the side. So I think that really there is nothing better than doing a pour and then immediately afterwards or the same day just using up the leftovers. You know, while I'm messy, before I fully tidy up, just using up the leftover paint and just doing something quite impulsive and spur of the moment. I really enjoy doing that, and it's just a great way to use up the paint. So that is what I'm doing now. I wasn't happy with just the leftovers. The leftovers were just the turquoises and the bronze. So I've added the pink and added the silver. So I've had to mix a little bit more paint, but I'm hopefully going to get another nice pour. Right, so let's just have a little think about the order. So I'm obviously using very contrasting colours here. I think I'll put the warm colour, so the pink and the bronze, in between. Maybe like that. It would be quite good to mix up the iridescent colours. Actually, no, there's too many iridescent colours. Oh yeah, there's 4 iridescent colours here. I could put them like that. I'm slightly nervous about this blue. I know it's all the scraped, so I want to use it, but not if it wrecks the painting. No, I will use it because it goes very well with the silver and with the pink. So I'm going to do some layers. I think I'm going to start here. Let's start with the dark one. So I think I'll aim for maybe two or 3 layers of each. So I'm just going to layer the paint on the bottom. And the reason I've added the silicone is because when I heat this with the blowtorch later, it will create some cells because the silicone will separate from the water in the paint. So the silicone will rise to the surface with the heat and create hopefully lots of pretty cells. Right, I can't really get much more paint in that cup. And I'm not going to be able to flip it very easily. I'm going to have to get the canvas on top, because that is actually, I think I've been a bit silly. I think I've made that too full. Oh well, nothing I can do now. Right, let's get my canvas ready. I've got a 14 by 18 inch canvas. I think, as I said, what I'm going to have to do is put the cup down because it is so full. Put the canvas on top and a little bit will squidge out because it is so full. I've definitely made a mistake with filling it up so much. Yeah, I can feel it pouring out already. And then very quickly tip it over. Oh, there you go, that's okay. Right. I think I'm just literally going to let it all pour out. I'm not going to have any sort of method to take to lifting this up, I think. I'm just going to tip it, see what happens. So it hasn't gone that far, not because there's not a lot of paint, but because it's quite thick paint. So I've got some cells appearing already. I think just to make this slide nicely, I'm just going to pour some of this blue down as a flow extender. So this will all get tipped off, but it will just help this puddle to flow much better. So I'm not going to torch it yet. I'm just going to do a bit of tilting around. So because I've put this flow extender down, I can really push against that to get this puddle to stretch. So that will flow over the edge, but I'm going to try and keep the puddle on the canvas at the moment. Oh, I just said that and it's just gone off. I'm actually going to pour this off. There's a massive cell there and I know I'm not going to like it, so it's gone. Right, so it's gone off here. I've got a little bit of the extender here and all around here, but there's lots and lots of paint on here. So I'm going to torch it now, and then I should be able to really tilt this out quite nicely because there's so much paint on it. Where's my torch gone? There. And also I can see lots of air bubbles in here. So I'm just going to torch it slowly to start with, and just to see what happens, just to see how many cells I start to get. I guess when I say I'm going to torch it gently, I just mean I'm quite high up at the moment. I'm not too close to the canvas. So there's some beautiful bronze cells coming through there, and they look orange. I just thought, where's the orange come from? But it's bronze. But they look orange against the contrast of the purple. So I'm getting slightly closer because it's not even popping enough air bubbles at the moment. Right, it's looking quite pretty, but it's definitely not enough cells for me. So I'm going to go again and just get a little bit closer. Right, that's quite a lot of cells now. So I think I'm going to tilt it and then torch it again. So I think the weight is here. I'm going to go off this corner. Now sometimes I use a corner catcher for flip cups, but there's so much paint on here. I don't think I'm going to bother. I'm sort of tilting it back and forwards to try and keep the shape of some of these cells. Because if you just tilt it in one direction, all the cells will really stretch. So I'm just walking the paint towards me. In fact, I'll just turn it round and then I can show you as I'm doing it. So that's the two corners near me are done. So let's now walk it down. It will help the cells to really stretch out. Right, the weight is over down here where these bronze cells are at the moment. So let's go off over this corner. Right, now I feel this is quite thin here. I feel like I'm going to actually struggle to get this over here without totally distorting everything, but I've got no choice. I'm just going to go for it. So I'm back and forwards and down towards my right. Because up here you can see these cells are really stretching out. Right, let's go over that corner. And then if I bring it back again, these cells will stretch out and hopefully squash these ones a bit more to get them a bit more in proportion. So again, I'm just walking the paint again. I'm not just tilting it straight away. Right, these cells are really nice. These ones in here now look a little bit stretched. So I'm just going to go off there. Great, that's better. Right, composition I love. Look at these amazing lines. I love a design that seems to start from a corner and stretch out, and that is exactly what I've got. It's too plain for me though up here, so I'm going to, oh, I've just dripped in it. I'm just going to clean my hands and then I'm going to cut a torch again. So I think I'm probably done with my my tilting now, because I think if I tilt any more, I will just ruin it now. Although I'm going to come slightly towards me because there's some much larger cells up the top here. Just slightly, just to try and, yeah, so that helps to stretch those out slightly so they're actually more in similar size here. So there's smaller cells here than here because I went off that way last. So if I can torch here, I wonder if I can balance it out a little bit with some smaller cells. Yeah, brilliant, they're coming through. I quite like a crowded painting. I quite like when you get lots and lots of cells. I know some artists think less is more. I don't. I always think more is more. But I've definitely overdone it before with torching. So I guess what I want to do is torch it, but so you can still see the bands of colour. Now that balances beautifully. You've got the large and the tiny cells here now compared to the medium cells. So I just feel that the balance is right. Right, I think I'm done. I think I'm going to leave it. No, I always say that and then end up doing some more. I'm done. I'm leaving it. Right, let me just finish my corners, wipe the edges, and I'll show you. I am so excited. I think this is the first flip cup I've ever done when I wouldn't change a thing. I absolutely love it. The composition, the colours, the size of the cells. I am so happy. What I love most are these lines, and they're diagonal. I love diagonal lines, or as I said, a design where you're starting from one corner and it's fanning out. I think probably it starts from this corner and comes this way. So I think I might end up hanging it up the other way from this. But I love these diagonal lines. It's not too dark, it's not too light. You've got such a good variety of cells. They're not overstretched. I'm so happy. Let me show you. I love having large and small cells side by side, and that is exactly what I've got. So I've got some gigantic cells there, but sandwiched in between are these such pretty two-tone smaller cells. The bronze is looking beautiful. It's very orangey. I think it's just in comparison to the colours that are around it. Turquoise and bronze, how pretty is that? What a beautiful combination. And then I just love how it then blends. So you've got the turquoise and the bronze, but then the pink's then introduced. And this colour, this was my scraped colour, and it's a bit of a non-colour, but it works perfectly. Sandwiched against that pink and that silver, that is a perfect position for it. And then back to the turquoise again. And the bronze. So you can see it just starts repeating itself. I honestly think if I tried, well, I couldn't. If I tried to create a composition like this, I just wouldn't have a clue how to do it, to create lines. Fluid art is so interesting because you can't always go, often you can't control what you're doing and the result that you get. So if I tried to repeat this, I just couldn't. So this is very much a one-off and I love it. I'm so happy with it. I will be back when it's dry. So here's the dry result. This has to be one of my favourite ever flip cups. I love it. And it's all down to the composition. Obviously the colours, I mean the colour scheme I knew I was going to like anyway, but the composition is just so unusual. To get these diagonal lines, I don't think I've ever been able to do that before. So I love it. So you've got the wonderful bronze section here. I love having larger cells and smaller cells, so they're all just side by side. So you've got such a mixture. And I love having loads of cells. I know a lot of artists like to have lots of negative space in between the cells. I'm just not so keen on that. I just like the chaos and the total jumble of lots of cells, but lots of cells of different sizes. So I'm so pleased. I love that silvery band going through the centre. I think that really works well. And up against the dark blue, and then the pink, and then the bronze and turquoise. So absolutely love it. So please let me know what you think. Please do leave me comments. Do hit the thumbs up button if you like it. And please do subscribe to my channel. Great. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.